Hey everyone, what's up? Yeah, I'm here. This is not live streamed because, the live stream with 4G is not the best. But yeah, I'm here to do give my thoughts on this upcoming Sunday's WWE Evolution pay-per-view. The first all-women's pay-per-view under the WWE banner. I know they like to tout it as the first all-women's pay-per-view, but as pointed out throughout history, if not the past 20-something years, we've had a lot of first all-women wrestling events, not just across the country, but across the globe, from Japan to Mexico to Europe, and even here in the United States with things like TNA, with Impact Wrestling, when it was once known as TNA. We've had that about 3 times there with the Knockouts division. So yeah, basically WWE is now taking a shot at it with their own pay-per-view. The only difference I think that really helps WWE stand out is the fact that they're going to be holding it not just live on pay-per-view on Sunday evening, but they'll also be holding it in one of the more legendary wrestling venues on the Northeast, and that's Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. So, kudos to them for that. Kudos to them for that. So, anyway, let's take a look at Evolution. I mean, first of all, I think one of the main discussion points here with this event is, despite the fact that it was hyped up at the end of July, the beginning of August, or around that time frame, even though it was hyped up around that time frame to be the event it's going to be, it hasn't really gotten much publicity. It hasn't gotten much publicity, easy for me to say, publicity than it should have. All because it's basically being overshadowed by the Crown Jewel event, which, as of today, may or may not occur. Sorry about that. Like I said, I had some people walking by and they were talking, so you don't want to get them in the shot or anything. But anyway, like I said, it's been overshadowed, the Evolution pay-per-view, and the publicity that it needs or should have, due to the fact that Crown Jewel is being promoted more so than it. A lot of people have basically looked at the fact that Crown Jewel, if you put the pieces of the puzzle together, you connect, certain parts of the situation going on, that Crown Jewel is just, that the reason Evolution's being done in the first place is it's basically WWE's way of saying, look ladies, you may not be able to go on the trip to Saudi Arabia should Crown Jewel still take place. And as I was saying, it's being determined today, maybe even as I'm doing this recording, of whether or not Crown Jewel will take place or if it's going to be relocated. Now, getting back on topic here, like I said, Evolution has not gotten the best publicity that it's been needing. This week it's going to get last-minute publicity, of course, thanks to Ronda Rousey and the Bellas showing up on Today with Megyn Kelly, with Nikki Bella showing up on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. So they'll be getting some last-minute publicity as we speak, as this week goes on. But yeah, despite the fact that it's not gotten very much publicity, and I know I'm using that word a lot here, it's still actually close to selling out. So yeah, if they can get a sellout on this event, despite it not being given time to really be promoted, despite not being given time to be promoted correctly, that's a huge accomplishment right there. That really is a huge accomplishment. Now, as far as the card itself goes, right now you have 6 matches scheduled to take place on the card. You have 6 matches scheduled to take place on the card. I would not be surprised if maybe you get 1 or 2 matches added to the pre-show, because you got all these participants from the Mae Young Classic that did not advance. You have to do something with them, and putting them in the Battle Royal that's taking place on the main card might be a good thing. But I think inevitably one of them, or 4 of them actually, will probably be put in a pre-show, kickoff show, tag team match to really get people excited. But that's all going to depend on who they bring in to take part in that. Now, as far as the other parts of Evolution go, it was announced this week. It was announced this week that the commentary team is going to consist of Renee Young, Beth Phoenix, and Michael Cole. Now, a little after that, it was also announced that SmackDown General Manager Paige will be part of the kickoff show panel, as well as later on be joining the commentary team as well. So you're going to have a 4-person, 3 to 4-person commentary team. Now, not a lot of people are thrilled with the fact that Michael Cole, like I said, not a lot of people are thrilled with the fact that Michael Cole is going to be taking part in Evolution, because I think a lot of people echo the sentiments of Alex, of Deluxe Man. Sorry about that. But like I said, I think a lot of people echo the sentiments of Deluxe Man, of Alex. And that is, if you're going to do an all-women's pay-per-view, you need to go all the way. You need to see this through all the way. And I basically said in a super chat to Alex back on Monday that perhaps Michael is a swerve. Cole's a swerve, or something like that. And what I meant by saying Cole's a swerve, and I said something else as well, is you have Paige being announced as one of the commentators, possibly. Now, unless she's only going to commentate for the Battle Royal and the SmackDown Women's Championship match, like I said, you're going to have a 4-person booth, 3 women, 1 man. So, if that's what's going to happen, my thought is they're going to have a moment before the pay-per-view starts, at the start of the pay-per-view, hopefully maybe at the kickoff show, because that will really get people talking and tuning in to the kickoff show. If they have Michael Cole, maybe even have Stephanie McMahon get involved, and basically say, look, you know, as much as we like to have you here calling the action, Michael, and you can have Stephanie be the one that does it, like saying, look, Michael, as much as we love having you here, you know, calling the action and everything, like you do on Monday Night Raw and on pay-per-views, this is a very special night for the women, so don't you think it'd be best if the women called the action? And you know what? That could happen. Michael Cole could be like very, you know, you can have him play up being a heel maybe if you want to, but if you want to play him as a straight man now, you can basically have Michael be like, you know, out of respect, look at Renee, look at Paige, look at Beth, look at the 3 ladies and be like, you know what, you're right, Steph. This is about them. I shouldn't be here. So you know what? Renee, ladies, take it away. And I think that could work. I really think it could work. Because think about it this way. It would be very reminiscing of what happened before, in the past. You see, I don't know if it was 2002 or 2003. I think it was 2003. I'm not totally sure. Might have been 2002, I'm not really sure. It was at the start of one of the pay-per-views, I think it was Vengeance. Michael Cole and Taz came out. And at that time, and this was during the original brand split, at that time, basically all the dual branded pay-per-views were being announced by one team, and that was the Raw commentary team of JR and Jerry Lawler. Well, on this night, Stephanie McMahon, I guess, threw her hat into the ring, if you will, for the SmackDown brand, because she was general manager of SmackDown at the time, and said, you know what? No, this ain't gonna happen. SmackDown should be calling SmackDown, Raw should be calling Raw. It makes sense. So on that night in 2002 is when you ended up getting two different commentary teams for a pay-per-view. One for Raw, one for SmackDown. End of discussion. But that leads us into what I'm talking about with Evolution. I would not be surprised if they pull something similar and Michael Cole does a JR, kind of respectfully bows out and says, you know what, you're right. This is an all-women's pay-per-view. This is about the women. I shouldn't be calling the action. Renee should be doing it. Take it away. Have fun. And I'm hoping that's what happens. Because you know what? You want to go all the way. You're going to have female referees and all that. You want to go all the way. Then go all the way. Make this moment happen. Make this moment at the pay-per-view or even on the kickoff show a reality, so that basically you're sending the statement that this is about the women. Like I said, send that statement that this is about the women, and that you're going to go all the way with this show by having women involved in everything from backstage announcing, ring announcing, or backstage interviewing, to ring announcing, to commentary and play-by-play. Go all the way, and I'm thinking they should do a moment like that on the kickoff show or even at the beginning of the pay-per-view to send that message. But now, on to the card itself, on to the event itself. And what I think is going to kick off the night, a lot of people, because honestly we have about 7 matches in total actually scheduled for this event. Maybe 8 if they decide to add the NXT UK Women's Championship match as a last minute match. But right now we have 7. And the one I think that's going to open the card is going to be the Mae Young Classic Final. Mae Young Classic Finals, which, spoiler alert, is going to involve Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. 2 top signees to WWE's NXT division or NXT brand, whether it's the main NXT roster or NXT UK. Both women have great reputations behind them. Both are known as two of the toughest women, most athletic women, and breakout women, stardom-like women that you can ever imagine. I predict a great matchup here. The question is who walks out with the Mae Young Classic win, or is the winner. A lot of people are saying Io Shirai. A lot of people are saying Toni Storm. It's up in the air. I mean, if history does repeat itself, then I would predict Io Shirai to be the one that wins this Mae Young Classic. But then again, they might go with Toni Storm, because you know what? You take a look at Toni Storm, and she is of English descent. She's part of the NXT UK brand, and she can also transition easily over to, let's say, the main roster when that day comes and not have a problem. You know, let's say maybe language-wise, according to certain people behind the scenes there, a la Vince McMahon, on how he feels about Asuka and wanting to kind of delay her push to the top because of the language barrier. So I think Toni Storm would be more of a choice in a Vince McMahon size to go over, because she'd be the easiest to transition over to the main roster should that day ever come. Now, the question I think a lot of people have is, what championship are they going to challenge for? Now, if they just go by brand, you could have if they just go by challenging for your brand's title, if Toni Storm wins, she ends up going after the NXT UK Women's Championship. If Io Shirai wins, she goes after the NXT Women's Championship. But I say if you really want to make things interesting, you really want to create opportunity, then you have the winner choose, just like the Rumble, who they challenge. And if they, you know, you basically allow them to choose who they challenge. And if you feel Io Shirai is ready for the main roster already, have her go after the SmackDown Raw Women's title. If you feel Toni Storm to feel the same way, have her do the same thing. Mix it up a little bit for the winner of the finals. Let them face whoever they want to face, whoever the champion is. But again, the question is who wins. That right there is the ultimate toss-up. The favorite right now is Io Shirai, but we'll have to wait and see where they go with it. But yeah, it's a toss-up, really. It's really pretty much a toss-up. All right, the next match that I think is going to occur is going to be, because you want to keep that momentum going, I think the next match to occur will be the 6-woman tag team match. Sasha Banks, Natalya, Bayley against versus the Riot Squad of Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Not a lot of people are feeling this match because it's like, really? This is the best you can do for these 6 ladies? You know? And I am in agreement with that. It's like, really, this is the best you can do? But I can understand perhaps right now it's like, you know, they could be added to the Women's Battle Royal later on, so you'll probably end up seeing all 6 of these women twice that night, so this being the first time you'll see them. The match I think will be alright. I mean, it's going to be on pay-per-view, so they'll probably have a little bit more leeway to do a little bit more than they do on Raw. I'm predicting, since they like to do 50-50 booking, I'm predicting Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya to win. But I'm also predicting something that a lot of fans have been hoping to see, because if this Monday is any indication of the fact that WWE is now having to change things up because of what's happened and really try to get people's attention on the product, I think Evolution is going to help contribute to that. And I think this 6-woman tag is going to be the start. It's going to be one of those contributions, because it might just involve, even in victory, a heel turn. And I'm predicting Sasha Banks. I'm predicting Sasha Banks to do it. If not Sasha, it's going to be Natalya. It's going to be one of them. If it's Bayley, that'll be a big surprise. But the two likely candidates to turn heel after the match, even after a win, is either Natalya or Sasha. And if it doesn't get cemented here, it'll get cemented later on in the Battle Royal, if they're involved in it, which I think they will be. Alright, so after that, we have the NXT Women's Championship. Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler. A lot of people are predicting this to be the show stealer. I cannot disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that possibility that this would steal the show. The question is, who goes over here? Well, here's what's funny. You have 2 of the 4 MMA horsewomen involved in championship matches on this night. So you would think the logical choice is to have Shayna Baszler go over if what people are predicting for the Raw Women's Championship match is going to happen. You would think that. But that's up to the booking staff. So again, just like with the Mae Young Classic Finals, this is a toss-up because, we all know Shayna's basically heading to the main roster very, very soon, especially if she's going to join up with Ronda or even feud with Ronda. So, or even end up on SmackDown and feud with someone like, let's say, Sonya Deville, or someone like a Becky Lynch or Charlotte. So, again, this is a toss-up to see exactly where they go heading into NXT TakeOver War Games in Los Angeles. So, I don't know. I mean, it would be nice for them to keep the belt on Kairi Sane. That way, you create that intrigue of her taking on either Io Shirai or maybe even Toni Storm. You create that intrigue and you go and you try to build from that. So, again, this one is another toss-up, in my opinion. So, going from there, we head to the Women's Battle Royal. The winner gets a championship shot against, I guess, whatever championship they decide. Again, hopefully, they go the route they will do with the winner of the Mae Young Classic final. Let them choose who they want to face. But yeah, the winner of this gets a women's championship match in the future. It's not specifically stated if it's just for a Pacific Women's Brand Championship or if it's for any championship. So the question is, who comes out on top here? A lot of people are saying Asuka, which I think is probably the best choice, because at least you're giving her something to do if she does win, and it shows that she and you play off the fact that she's won an event like this before. So Asuka is a favorite. People, of course, are looking at Nia Jax as an obvious favorite. Tamina Snuka is another one. There's just a lot of women that they're looking at here. So my opinion is this: the winner of this match is going to be someone you're not expecting, but you should expect her. The winner of this match is going to be a lady that's going to fringe, not being able to compete in her scheduled matchup, which I believe is going to take place after this one, and she's going to end up winning and getting a shot at that Raw Women's Championship again. And I'm talking about Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I think Alexa's going to get involved. She's going to be part of this. She's going to win, and she's going to end up getting a shot at the Raw Women's Championship. If not, she might just go back over to SmackDown and try to challenge for that title. But that's my prediction. As much as I would like to see Asuka win, I think they're going to go Alexa. I don't know why. Now, speaking of the match she's supposed to be in, and that is the tag team match involving her and Mickie James against Lita and Trish Stratus. Right now, it looks like they might go Alicia Fox in Alexa's place to team with Mickie James against Lita and Trish. This match should be good. It's basically New Era versus Attitude Era, or New Era versus Attitude / Ruthless Aggression Era. It should be good, and I do believe, I'm in agreement with everybody, you're going to have a nostalgic feel here, a nostalgic moment, and I feel Lita and Trish are going to win the match. So, and I think Lita is going to be the one that gets the pinfall for her team. Now, it's also scheduled to Stephanie. Now, the other thing that's supposed to happen at the pay-per-view is Stephanie McMahon is scheduled to be there to make some kind of major announcement, from what I understand. A lot of people are speculating and pretty much confirming that announcement could be the introduction of women tag team titles and how those are going to come into play here in WWE, but we'll have to wait and see. The final two matches is Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship, which a lot of people are saying is going to close out the show. I don't think it will. Despite the publicity it's giving Evolution, I don't think it's going to close out the event. But then again, I could be wrong. It did help spike ticket sales, but I don't think it's going to close out. I think, if anything, you're going to want the match that really has more story to it than anything closing out the show, and that's Charlotte and Becky. But as far as Ronda and Nikki go, a lot of people are saying Nikki's going to win because it's being written and played out that way. And I would be in agreement with that. But I don't think it will be. I don't think Nikki's going to win. I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. I think, obviously you're going to get a lot of moments during the match to where it looks like Nikki's going to win. She's going to cheat. She's going to try twin magic with Brie. She's going to do all that. But in the end, Nikki is not going to win. She might put up a bit of a fight, but we all know how the Ronda Rousey matches have been going. Ronda is basically there's going to be a moment in the match where Ronda's going to go into what's known as her beast mode. She's going to put that look on her face. It's going to scare the heck out of Nikki. And just, you go from there. So yeah, I'm predicting Ronda to win, but then again, WWE has proven me and everybody else wrong. But I think I'm one of those people that says Ronda's going to win, and she's just going to decimate Nikki. It's going to be one of those matches to where you would think it would main event and close out the show, but why would you want to main event and close out the show with a match that particularly is going to be nothing more than a semi-squash, at least. Particularly, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I do predict Ronda's going to win. Now, the next match that I think is going to close out the show, is going to main event the show, is going to be Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. This to me has more story to it, has more legitimacy to it, and has more of a reason. If you take a look at the history, story-wise, legitimately, realistically, this has more of a legit reason to close out the show. And if Triple H is booking this show, which I think he is, despite some people saying that this is a Vince McMahon show, and that's why Michael Cole is going to be on the announce team, I think Triple H is going to be booking this match. I think Triple H is going to say, look, let's close out the show. Triple H is going to be like, hey, let's close out the show with Charlotte and Becky, because they have the most story to them. They have the most legit reasoning. They basically have the better build-up, in a sense, to where this is more worthy, I hate to say this, than Ronda and Nikki to close out the show. And then when you add in what happened at the Performance Center and everything, this definitely deserves to close out the show. And as far as the story itself goes, and I've said this before, I don't know how it's going to come to an end, but to me, it mainly sounds like Becky, all she's doing is flaunting being the champion. Yeah, is flaunting being champion. But the reason she's doing that is to give Charlotte a taste of her own medicine. That's why she's doing it. She's flaunting being champion. She's flaunting saying, hey, I'm the queen and all that. She's giving Charlotte a taste of her own medicine. She's showing Charlotte how she's treated her and everybody else when she was champion. And in the end, I won't be surprised if that's what the reasoning is. There's going to be because what I'm saying is, when this is done, there's going to be a moment on SmackDown Live where something's going to happen to one of them, being maybe attacked or ambushed by maybe the Iconics or somebody, and the other's going to come to their aid. That's going to start to rebuild that trust and that friendship, and then you'll get a segment either in the ring or backstage where Becky admits the reason as to why she acted the way she did. She wanted to give Charlotte a dose of her own medicine. And that she's sick and tired of being, shoved to the back, be put on the back burner, becoming irrelevant. She wants to be in that title picture at all times. So yeah, that's what I think. That might be the conclusion, or maybe one of the possible conclusions after this is all said and done. As far as the match itself goes, it's going to be a show steal. It's going to be one of the show stealers. It's going to get physical. It's going to get, like I said, it's going to be physical. It's going to be brutal. You can expect a lot of weaponry to be used, maybe tables, candlesticks. Expect a lot of that to take place in this matchup. You can expect, like I said, a lot of that to take place in this matchup. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if they added thumbtacks to the mix too to really spice things up, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the end result, I think, is going to be a double knockout. I really do. As much as people are saying Charlotte's going to walk out with the championship to help continue this on, I think we're going to get a double knockout. Both women are not going to be able to enter the 10 count. That it doesn't, and in the process, it doesn't make either woman look weak. It makes them look strong and puts them on equal footing. It allows Becky to keep the championship. And if you want to continue this for the next month or so into Survivor Series, so be it. But yeah, that's my thought. I think, I know people may not like how Evolution will end that way without a definitive winner, but I think that's probably what we're heading to. And yes, it'll be a shame for Evolution to end that way, but you know what? It gets you invested to tune into SmackDown Live 2 nights later to see how they resolve this issue and they continue the story between these two with the championship. And again, like I said, it makes both women, even in that situation, look strong and not weak, and it allows Becky to retain. So, anyway, that's really all I have to say. So really, those are just all my thoughts and predictions for this Sunday's WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View Evolution. Let me know what you guys think down below. I got to get into work now, but comment if you like. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you agree with some of my predictions and stuff in this preview of who's going to go over and how? Let me know down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.